In 1972, John Callahan created this amazing place, a utopia for mice. They call it Experiment 25. Have you heard about this story? If not, keep watching. It was meant to be a happy place. What he did basically, he took 4 pairs of mice, males and female, and he put them in this beautiful place full of food, water, and nests in order for them to reproduce and to have a happy life. He wanted for them to have longevity. He wanted them to reproduce. So as we know, a story that goes like that, he put the mice there and he said, be fruitful to multiply. Phase 1. The mice was introduced to this beautiful utopia, this heavenly paradise. What they did, they start looking at that place. They start to introduce themselves to their new home and enjoying each other. After a while, what they did, they start mating and reproducing like every other living being. And everything was wonderful. Everything was peaceful. There were plenty of food, water, shelter, everything that an animal or even a human being can ask for. A true paradise. Phase 2. Mice built houses. They created their own territory. They had families, every mice to each. They build houses, they start getting along with each other. Basically how every society is functioning, just like human beings. And everything was going well until things start changing. Phase 3. As more mice was born, the place started to become crowded. They start fighting for the food, for the water, and they start to feel a little bit uncomfortable that they literally had to fight for all the resources that was around there. Some mice, they even give up fighting. They became insecure and they start isolating themselves from the crowd. Do you understand where I'm taking this? Phase 4. Overcrowding caused some mice to be very unhappy. What they did, they isolate themselves from the other mice. Also, they developed a very, very weird behavior, which they call abnormal behavior. They had a new generation of mice that they call them the beautiful ones. And what the beautiful ones were doing, they were basically only caring about to eat, sleep, and groom each other and themselves. They became highly narcissistic. Also, a very interesting factor, that the mice became asexual or pansexual. They didn't care mating with the opposite sex. However, they did care about mating with the alpha mice that was in the territory in order to have some incentives. Homosexual, pansexual, it basically was mating with females and males, but only for a different purpose, not for reproduction. At the same time, the female mice got very isolated from the male mice. What they did, they isolated themselves and they became much more aggressive. They didn't want to have any more children. They didn't want to breed. The maternal instincts got lost. Phase 5. Decline and disappearing. In this phase, mice start being very, very aggressive to each other. They start killing each other. Female mice didn't want to have any more children. The ones that were pregnant would kill their babies or leave them alone, or even some of them will go into cannibalism, which was very awkward because they had plenty of food. Basically, they start going crazy. And eventually, they all disappear. What is interesting in this experiment, what they call it the Experiment 25, is that it didn't happen once. John Callahan was doing this experiment from 1972, and he did it plenty of times. And every time he did it, it had the same result. John said that the mice experienced 2 deaths. The first death was of their spirituality, of their inner self. He said that they lost the purpose of their lives. And the second death was the physical death that occurred after that. What can we learn from these mice? When life becomes too easy, we lose the purpose of our lives. We lose our motivations. We lose the meaning of our existence. Having goals and dreams keeps us motivated and happy. The challenges of life, it's what makes us stronger and happy. Our challenges, our everyday life challenges, are the ones that help us to grow in this world. They are the ones that give us the feeling of achievement that we actually made it. We did something with our lives. And that is what builds our confidence and our character. And that what makes us feel secure about ourselves. And that's when you say, yes, I have done this. I've gone through this and I will make it. Taking care of ourselves, taking care of our friends, our beloved ones, being closer to them, not losing the communication, not breaking, not going for this divide and conquer that society is trying to do to us. The mouse experiment shows us this, that losing the purpose in this life and avoiding the challenges that we have can have a huge negative impact on our lives. Let's remember always to challenge ourselves, always push ourselves to the limits, always try new things. Not being afraid to explore things around us, not being afraid to try things. Because let's remember, success is a math game. Because you, my friend, will succeed through failure. I hope you liked the story. Thank you very much for listening till now. Follow for more value, and I'll see you soon.